Ma'am, regarding the PM Security Lab, the Supreme Court set Sabha committee. What do you say on that?
The committee which has been set up by the Supreme Court, the Honourable Supreme Court, is most welcome. Absolutely needed, because it's been a very disastrous performance or absence of performance, absence of duty by both the Punjab government, civil administration and the police administration. It's been disastrous and a very bad example for the rest of the country.
Ma'am, it also says that the panel will inquire into the cause of the security breach and persons responsible for it and measures to be taken for the future preventing such acts for the BIP.
Absolutely. The failure is obvious now. It was suspected. See, the failure was suspected because before all these details which have come through the India Today investigation were very obvious. Because as we officers saw the absence of the senior most officers. Because when the Prime Minister's security duty, the DGP, the Chief Secretary, the Home Secretary, the Home Minister, the Chief Minister are all present. All present. And they do huge, great detail of prior preparation. And then after the prior preparation, the briefing, the rehearsals, and then they are present. And till the Prime Minister's out of sight, literally, if he's flying, till the plane is out of sight, we don't leave the airport. That is the kind of meticulousness which is required for the security of the highest political executive after the President of India is required. It was very obvious that they were all absent. As when I started to see right from the very beginning, I started to wonder, I don't see DGP because they're all in uniform with badges and saluting the Prime Minister, getting a photograph of a lifetime. I think they lost a great opportunity of a lifetime, receiving the Honourable Prime Minister and getting a photograph with him while on duty. It's a pleasure it's an honour of a lifetime. They lost it. They were absent. And when I saw, this was absent to all of us officers, wondering where they are. So the absence was very clearly indicated that they are under instructions. They are under orders. They could not have done this kind of negligence on their own. They can't dare to do that. It was obvious that they were under some instructions. These have become very obvious through the information which has been given by the DSP on camera. And the point is, I think the Punjab government, my mind, is it made a very disastrous choice between the Prime Minister's security and the annoying of the radicals who were there as agitators. I think they made a choice. They didn't want to probably touch the radicals, but in the process, they were willing to compromise the security of the Honourable Prime Minister, the most important person for us as a democracy, and today, one of the most respected persons in the world today. I think it was a disaster, and officers who've carried out these illegal, irregular orders, they've dug their own grave. I don't think they can be retained in the service anymore. They will pay a very heavy price for the acceptance of illegal and irregular orders.
And especially when PM's visit was scheduled, how do you see that? Because you have been in this position. How do you see this? What kind of, what was exactly, what is your speculation to it, sir?
Well, they have failed to do who are they? It is both the civil administration and the police. When I say civil administration, it is the Chief Secretary and down the line. And when I say the police, it's the DGP down the line. The DGP and the Chief Secretary both, and the Home Secretary are accountable. As I said, they should have rehearsed the program, they would have briefed the program, issued a detailed program, and supervised the program and led the program. Received the Honourable Prime Minister, ensured his safe movement, attend his duties whichever he came for the causes he came for, ensure that he's fully protected from any threat from any direction, and seen him off. Where were they? I think they were totally absent by design. They were absent by directions. I think this is what they will have to now tell. Whose directions? Who gave them these? Were they verbal? Were they written? I'm sure they were all verbal. And all the WhatsApp messages and all these messages, they're all on record. This is not an intelligence failure. It's a deliberate overlooking rejection of intelligence reports and trying to be absent. They were running away. I think they made a choice, and officers are going to pay it by their own service. Imagine the IAPS and the IS of those who we look up to for protection of this country actually have made a very disastrous move by being absent and negligent in their duty. Even if they carried out illegal orders, they were not bound by those orders. They were not bound by the orders if the political executive gave them. They were not bound. They could have said, sorry sir, it's my duty, I have to perform. The Chief Secretary could have said, Home Secretary could have said, and being present there. But how they dared to put the Honorable Prime Minister's security at total risk. I think it's inexcusable. If you ask me, it's a criminal neglect, criminal act. It's a criminal act. They need to be tried for this criminal act, because what if the disaster would have happened? What if damage would have happened? Who would have answered? The country would have been at sea today. So I think they paid it by their own service. They lost everything.
Thank you so much.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं मानक गुप्ता। अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें, और हाँ, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें, ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए News24।